Okay, so if this image here doesn't scare the living daylights out of you, and if this makes you excited to learn more, then you have come to the correct video, because what you're about to witness is 90 minutes of pain and misery on my part as I try and get my head around how to create these things for the first time. So good luck, have lots of patience, use this as a reference if it's helpful, and skip to the end if it drives you crazy.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
Okay.
All right. So I will share my screen again. And so the middle is the middle of the torso. Is that correct?
Yeah, exactly.
Is that where you're talking? And that was A. So the middle is the torso, and we've done the root and the pelvis. That spine bone, is it like part? Let's have a look here. 2, 3. All right. So there's just 3 sections of the spine, so that when you move, it'll move as a curve. Is that right? Like a rather than it
Yeah,
being
yeah,
one
yeah.
bone, it will actually be able to bend in the middle and look more realistic.
Exactly, yeah, right.
And we're doing that because the people who created this model gave us those 3 bones.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, gotcha. I get my head around that. Okay, fair enough. So from memory, we click on the item that we want to change the shape of, and we come to the right. What have you got the spine bones as?
I have it as a circle thick,
Okay.
and it's 8 on the scale. So you can lock it and
Oh, yeah. It's all 8.
yeah.
And any location or rotation? Yes.
You can change the rotation of Y to 90.
90.
Okay.
Okay, so that's given us like a hula hoop around the middle.
Yeah, exactly. And now
Um,
you can
is there a way of
connect it.
copying that to the other 2?
Um, I think there is. You can right click on the shape properties in the right. On the drop down, you can right click on the drop down and copy.
Ah, look at that. So that means if I click on spine 2 and then right click and paste,
Yeah.
fabulous. I love things when they're easy. Shape properties, paste. Okay, so back to the first one, and we need to bring that into there as a get, correct?
Yep.
And then the bone, which was, what are we up to?
It was the spine. This one.
Spine one. Whoops. And I bring that in as the set.
Yeah.
And the set goes at the top, and the get goes at the bottom. Ta-da. Okay.
Nice.
I think I can do this.
So we just repeat for every other bone.
Spine to set. Spine to get. Oh, did I do that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Brum. 3.
Get
Get.
control.
Just got to get my head around it. Line 3, set bone. Set bone, get control. Okay, gotcha.
Right. So you're setting the bone transform and you're getting the transfer from the control.
Right. And then the neck, which we haven't changed the shape of yet, but I'll do that, sure. So, control. Oops, neck is at the bottom. Set bone. Now, on the neck, we needed to
I have
change the
it
shape.
same as the spines, so circle.
Oh, so we can right click on that and go paste.
Right. I just have it scaled down a little bit.
Oh, yeah. What do we got?
It's 5.
Ooh, I guessed it. Wonder why that's not locked. Huh.
Well, now I have to unlock it because it will keep the ratio.
Oh, right. Okay. Gotcha. I thought that was lock, as in whatever I do to one, do to
Yeah.
the others. Okay. And anything else changed? Not really.
Nope.
No.
Actually, I have the. So if you go up to the transform here and just make the window a bit larger. So just go to the left and drag it.
Oh, this one here. Right.
Yeah. So as you can see, you have min and max. Right now, if you try to rotate the neck control, you can see that in the viewport, you can see that the mesh gets a bit crazy. So try to rotate it with E. Press E and then
All right. E.
and then rotate. So you can do stuff like that, right? So
Yeah.
if you want to, you can add constraints basically to the
Ah,
control.
okay.
So in the main, you can select the rotation. So press the little box on the left on each of the axes. So I have it set up at minus 60 on the X, minus 50 on the Y, and minus 80 on the Z.
And how did you get to those? Is that just like a standard?
No, you can, when you rotate the control in the viewport, you can go to the position you like and go to the current tab in the transform,
Right.
and then you can see
What effect it has.
what values it has.
Okay. Right.
And then on the max, you can do the same, just different values. So on the X, we have 60. On the Y, it's 50. And on the Z, it's 50. And now if you try to rotate it, you can see that it's constrained, or it should be.
Oh, am I grabbing the right control there? Because that one doesn't seem to be constrained. Oh, yeah. So it goes to there and then it stops no matter how much I
Right.
do it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
Right. So
So I think
that's the middle, right?
right. That's it for the middle, I think.
Yeah. So then we're going to do the same again for what's the next one? IK. So that's the arms.
Yeah, that's the arms. So the IK for arms.
Right.
So I actually have first I have made controls for the clavicle, so for the shoulders. It's not part of the IK, but
All right.
you can create it too. So clavicle L and clavicle R,
Right.
and just right click on them and new control.
Where's my? Here it is. Controls for selected.
Yeah, and then you don't want to leave it at hierarchy. Oh, so okay, so never mind. So it just created it like that, and then you can parent it to the spine 3.
All right. Do I just drag and drop that?
Yeah, you can select both of them and drag in under the spine 3. Okay. And now you can change the shape. Have it set up as quarter circle thick. And the rotation is 90 on the X. And the scale is 5 for everything.
So, right. 5, 5, 5. I click that and then. All right. So that's how that worked. Okay. Cool. Cool. And that's this control here. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Gotcha.
it's gonna control the shoulder.
So then I can copy that shape property and apply it
Yeah.
to that clavicle.
Yep. It's just gonna be a different rotation.
Sure.
So the right one has minus 90 on the X and 180 on the Z.
Boom.
And that's it. You can connect them to the sequence,
Right.
to
So
the bones.
can you drag two at a time?
Yep.
Get control. Ooh, look at that. There's two. Very nice. And this isn't part of the middle, is it? Or is it still part of the middle?
No, it's part of the arms.
Arms. Okay, cool.
I mean, it doesn't matter. It's gonna do the same thing,
Sure.
but just for the organization.
Bum, bum, bum. Sit bone and clavicle R. Sit bone. That's those two, right? So, guess it doesn't really matter, but whatever. So these on the B pin.
Yeah.
So messy. All right.
Now
How
you
am I
can try
doing?
to. It's actually great. Now you can try just to rotate it so you can see if it works. Right. So it's working.
Cool.
Now we can set up the IK.
Alrighty.
So we will need the hand bone. So hand bones for, let's first make the IK for the left arm. So you need hand L, lower arm L, and that's it.
Those two.
Yeah.
Right. Right click.
Right click,
On
new.
new, click on add controls, go down the bottom, lower arm and hand. What shapes have we got?
So for the lower arm, it's the control that controls the elbow position. So I have the pyramid thick.
Pyramid thick.
And you actually want to unparent the hand from the lower arm control. So just drag it on the lower arm.
Ah, right.
Or not. Maybe you can
Right
drag
click.
it to an right, you can unparent here. You can shift P
Shift click.
or
Yeah.
click here. And you can select both of them and make them a child of root.
Ah, right.
So
Okay.
drag them on the root. Okay. So
Do I have any rotation or scale or anything on this one?
can you actually rotate the viewport in
Yeah. What key do I use for that?
that would be right click if you have it.
Ah, right. Okay. Gotcha. Mm. There we go.
Okay. And you can move with WASD when you're holding the right click.
There he was.
Okay. So just okay. So yeah, that's fine. Okay, so you can select the lower arm control. That's the hand. You can just
Oh.
select it in the hierarchy.
Ah, right. Yeah.
Okay, so you will actually need to drag it out of the arm.
I get it
So
out.
press
All
W
right. Okay. So lower arm, press W.
and just drag it out like that. And then right click on the control and select set offset transform from current.
Okay. So what does this do?
So this will leave the transform the origin of transform on the control. Otherwise, it will when you press compile, it will stick to the bone. So
Right.
when you select this control, you need to move it from the position that the control is, not the position that the bone is.
So we've shifted it offset and then we've told it to leave it there.
Yeah, exactly.
And that way we can grab it and move it going forward and it will leave that control outside of the bone.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Cool.
So now for the rotation,
Oh, yeah.
I have it set up at 90 on the Z and 1.5 scale on the x-axis, just on the x, just so it's a bit more pointy.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it for the lower arm.
Okay.
Now we can go to the hand. I have it shaped as a box stick. I left everything the as default,
Cool.
and now you can actually start creating the IK in the blueprints window, in the central window.
So
So now it's a bit different. You need to get the basic IK node. So right click on the empty space, type in basic IK. This one, yeah. And you can continue it from the clavicle bones. Just connect it up there. Perfect. And now you need to tell it, you can see the item A, item B, and the effector item.
mhm,
These are basically the chain bones that the hand control will affect.
right.
So the effector item is the hand. So you can just select the hand in the hand control in the hierarchy or the viewport, and press the arrow next to the name of the bone in the effector item.
Next to the name of the
Uh,
bone. That one?
The
This one.
right one, this one. So
Use
it's gonna
item
just
selected. Right.
populate. Yeah.
So that's
Okay.
saying because I selected it over here, then when I click this button, it's going to populate it into there.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
And so for the item B, it will be the lower arm.
So lower arm L.
Actually, no. We don't. We need the bone, actual bone, not the control. So
Okay, cool.
just select the hand L on the bone hierarchy.
Gotcha. Okay, so and L.
There it
So
is. And
we need to select the bone. Not what is this? This is the control
this
thing.
is the control that
Right.
controls the bones.
So we got to select the bone and
And
put that
then
in there.
right. And
Okay.
now the item B would be lower arm. So we're just moving up the hierarchy. And then the upper arm on the item A.
Upper arm L.
Right.
Cool.
Okay, so now we need to get the transform of the hand control. It will be the effector um,
This one.
on the basic IK. No, the transfer the orange one.
Oh, this one.
Yeah, it's gonna just get the transform and set the transform for the bones. So you just need to get the transform of the hand, get the control of the hand.
So that's dragging it in here.
Yeah,
Get control.
get control and just connect the transform to the effector.
Gotcha.
And okay, so now we need to actually set up the pole vector. It's the lower arm control that we made before,
This one over here.
right? So you can get it as well. But now we don't need the whole transform. We only need the translation. So you can drop the transform down in the no the pin. You can see the orange pin on the transform.
Right.
So it has dropped down. So you can select the translation, this one, yeah, and drag it to the pole vector on the exactly. So
It's like we're
we've
wiring
kind
up
of
some kind of robot.
yeah. So it actually messed up our arm because the primary and the secondary axis are set up wrong
Right.
in the basic IK. So you can see the primary and secondary axis. You can drop down both of them. And you can actually leave the x on 1, but the y is actually -1. The secondary axis y.
Boom.
This is just 0.
The secondary axis is -1.
-1. That should fix it. Okay,
Had to
so
think
now you
about it.
can move that's basically it for the IK on the left arm.
Right. So
I can
that's
try to move it.
all right. Okay, cool. That's this control here. No, that's the
That's the
control.
for the elbow.
That's the elbow. So we've just done that one.
This box, right?
Oh, look at that. The clunk. Feel the bones moving. Oh yeah. That's so cool. Goodness gracious. All right. So then we step and repeat for the right arm, I guess.
Yeah, you can actually select the the controls, the hand L and the lower arm L, and right click and mirror.
Mirror.
Yeah, and you can search. This is okay. You can just search underscore L underscore and replace it with underscore R underscore.
Sneaky.
Okay, and when you rotate the character, I think it should be in the right position.
Right click. Oh, look at that.
Okay.
So that's copied that over. Has it copied the
Now you just need to connect the. Actually, you can right click on the right hand and so right click on it and set offset transform from closest bone. This one, yeah. That's because sometimes it messes up the location, so it still thinks it's on the left bone. So now it's set up to
right.
the right hand. You can do the same thing for the lower arm, for the elbow.
Right click.
You can actually set the actually, yeah, just to the closest bone, and then just drag it out again. Just check if the rotation is okay.
Is that over here?
You can just zoom in a bit if you can. Okay, so yeah, so it's reversed. You can just, I guess, -90 on this,
Boom.
and then just repeat the notes for the basic IK.
Right.
So you can copy and paste everything from the basic IK and just replace it with right bones.
It's those three there?
Yeah, just click on the empty space.
Ah, right.
I mean, first you need to click Command C and then Command V on the empty space.
Gotcha. Copy paste. Right. So then we change that to right.
Right.
Hand L control. So we want hand right control. Right control. And then all of these. Is it twisted like it was last time?
Uh, Is it? You have to connect it, right? You actually need to on item A, it's upper arm, not lower arm.
Ah, whoops. Sorry.
Okay, so
Look at that. That's
so
hilarious.
the so again we need to just change
Gave him a
the
human
primary.
hand.
So this one is -1, the X on the primary, and it's 1 on the secondary. Okay, and that's it.
Awesome.
So do you want to start with the fingers or the hands? The feet.
Let's do fingers.
Okay.
Now, fingers will be tricky, right? Because you had a control that closed all the fingers at once.
Right. It's it can be done with each individual, but I figured it would be easier for the first time for all of the fingers
Yeah.
at once.
Yeah. Okay. Now,
Yeah.
considering the amount of time it takes, is it better to just copy what you've got and move on? Like, I would love to go through this step by step. Do you have the time to do that? Do you have the patience to do that?
Well, if you want, I don't mind, really. I mean,
Um,
it would if you want to uh, really learn how to do it, then I guess it would be better if you did it.
Absolutely. I also am conscious of your time and your sanity and whether or not you actually want to teach me how to do it or whether you just want to say just take this and leave.
Well, I actually enjoy using Unreal, so
Okay,
it's
cool.
it's really not a problem for me.
Okay. Well, that's great. That's great. Okay, so I imagine we've got to go back to our bones and create controls for them, correct?
Actually, no.
Ah,
So right now we right now we just need to create a new control that's actually not connected to anything.
okay.
So just create it if you have empty space at the bottom of the hierarchy, or right, just create a new control and call it something like I have it as hand L close.
Oh, whoops. Follow the naming conventions. And L close. Close or
Close, right?
closed?
It doesn't matter. I have it as close without the D. So you can parent it to the hand.
Whoops, that was the wrong hand.
Right. So that's just when you move the hand, it will follow it.
Gotcha.
So it should actually be at the bottom right now, the control, the bottom of the mesh in the viewport.
Bottom of the mesh. All right. So at his feet.
Just look down a bit. Right. So there it
Okay.
is. Now just you can just move it to the hand.
And this is left, correct?
Yeah.
And we want it just outside the hand.
Yeah, I have it just outside the hand.
And what shape, sir?
I have it set up as an arrow, just to indicate you can move it up and down. And then we have 180 on the z-axis and scale on 2 on everything. Okay, so that's a
And
bit different.
rotation.
I guess the rotation is not the same. You can maybe put it at 90 on the just try something, some axis.
Oh, so that was
Okay,
0.
it's not okay, so it's minus 90 on this one.
Cool. And this is where we right click
And now
it. No, not yet.
uh yeah, actually you can do it. You can do this
And it's to
right.
current.
Yeah. Okay. And now you can set the min and the max of the control.
Right.
So I have it set up as uh, on the location you need to check mark everything and just put -5 on the Y.
Oops. -5.
Okay, and that's it for the minimum. And go to the max. Same thing, just put 30 on the Y. Okay, but since there's a rotation that's different for you, maybe you need to put it 30 on the X and -5 on the X. Nope, on the Z.
Oh, on the Z.
Yeah.
Oops. Is that correct?
Actually, you need to. I'm just not sure why the rotation is a bit messed up.
Mm.
Maybe if you put it on 0 on the Z rotation at the shape transform below at the bottom. Okay. Now if you okay, so the min and the max are reversed. That's probably because it's -90 on the x-axis.
Oh, yeah.
But if you put it on the 90, on the +90, it will be the arrow will be wrong, facing the wrong way.
Mm.
Not really sure why that's happening.
How bizarre. Oh, that just flips it around. So if that was 90, that would go. Oh, I see. Gotcha. Yeah, weird. So is it better to rotate it so it's pointing down and then change the min and max?
Well, that would probably work. It would just be a bit
Or
more
do we just
confusing.
have it with the arrow pointing up?
Well, you can just change the shape so it wouldn't really matter.
Is it
Something
because
like,
I've
I don't know.
chosen the wrong arrow?
No, that's not your fault. You can, I don't know, select a sphere, maybe solid sphere. So it's the same, whichever direction it's facing,
Whichever way, yeah.
and you can just scale it down. Okay, so now if we Now, if you set the min to -5 and set the z to 0 and max 0 and set it to 1, so set it to 0 on the x-axis on the shape transform, and 180 on the z. Maybe try to compile the rig.
Where was the other button
Um,
for that?
it's on the upper left.
You can go away. You're annoying. Upper left. Auto compile or compile?
You can click compile. Okay, so that's not working.
We haven't
Um,
created anything in here, right? So
yeah, I'm just figuring out why the min and the max are weird. So just try to set the same values to different axes, so we can see which ones are facing bottom.
so which is it, are we looking at this square box here, are we?
Yeah, so it should go down.
Ah, right.
So I'm guessing it's Z, actually. Okay, so you can actually put -30 here on the Z and 0 on the others. And on the main, it's -5 on the Z. Okay,
Right. And so that's created a directional travel.
exactly. Yeah. So you can go anywhere you want, just up and down.
Gotcha.
Okay. And now we will create the controls in the center. Okay. So I actually have it on the separate sequence node. So
You mean from a letter C? Is that what you're saying?
yeah, yeah. Then I actually have another sequence. No, no, you can't
Oh,
connect
that's
right
not that
now.
one.
I actually have another sequence for the each hand. So you can just right click on the empty space, or just copy the sequence you have.
This one here?
The sequence box at the top.
Ah, right. I see what you mean. So do you run and execute down to that one as well?
Now you go from the first one, from the C to the execute on the bottom.
Ooh.
And now I have A and B for the each hand, for each fingers.
So if you said that you could do this per finger, so you would create one of these controls for each finger, is that right?
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. Pain in the ass.
Right. So
Okay.
now you need the
Transform.
another. No. You need to create another box. So right click on the empty space and type in distribute rotation. This one, yeah. And now you need to add items to the items array in the second one. In the distribute rotation box, you have items
Ah, right.
array. You
Gotcha.
can
So
plus and it will add the items. So now you need to add 3 items, each for each bone in the finger.
Oh my goodness. Ah, yeah, of
So
course.
you go from top to the bottom. It's so you can go to the bone hierarchy and take a look at the finger bones. So find hand and drop it down. Right, so now you can start from wherever you like. So from the thumb, you go just thumb 1 is item 0, thumb 2 is item 1, and thumb 3 is item 2.
Right.
Okay, and now um, you need to drop down the transform on the get transform control. Just move it a bit to the left,
Oh, right.
the whole box.
Yeah.
And actually just select the sequence, the rotation and the transform, and just maybe drag it away from everything so it's not so cluttered.
Mm-hmm.
You can actually drag select everything.
Oh, right. Okay. Like that.
Right. Okay, so you can zoom in and drop down the transform on the control,
That one?
the orange pin.
Oh, right.
And now we need to drop down the translation. And from the Y, actually we have the Z. So from the Z, you need to divide it by 30. So just drag it and type in divide. Let go,
Oh,
and
right.
divide.
Okay.
Okay.
Math.
And type in 30. And then we need to interpolate. So that's basically just you can press plus next to the rotation on the distribute rotation box.
Plus.
Um, and just drag from the rotation.
This one?
No, the from the distribute rotation. This one. Just drag and let go and type in interpolate. And press this. Okay, so this is how it should look like.
How
So I
annoying.
guess it matters based on the
Matters
pin.
where you take it from. Yeah, right.
Okay, just connect the result to the T and type it's connected. So you need to on the B you need to set the rotation in the on the right. You have the values on the
So
right.
over here, right?
Yeah. You have the values for the B. You need to set it to, well, try 60
In
on the
which?
Z.
Z? 60.
But since our rotations are a bit different, it might not look the same. So actually, you can connect the the A pin from the sequence to the execute.
To
On the
which one?
distribute rotation.
Yep. Wowzers.
Okay, so it might not be 60 on the interpolate.
Mm.
Oh, I know why. Because we're in the global space here on the transform control. So you can see the space drop down on
Sorry,
the
I don't know where you're looking.
get transform control box on the in the center the blueprints. So we
Global
have this.
space.
Yeah, you can select local space, and now try to put first put on the interpolate. Put well, put on the Z, right? 60.
That looks better.
Okay, so I think that's working fine.
So
Can
that's the right
control.
motion, eh?
Yeah, I think it is. So you can control how far the bone rotates by the weight on the distribute rotation, the last pin. Right. So if you put 0.5, it will do half the rotation it normally would.
Ah.
So I actually have the thumb set at 0.5, 0.25, because it clips the other
Hand.
fingers when you make a fist.
Yep. Yep, that's good.
And now we just do this for every other finger.
Of course we do. So that's a distribute rotation for each finger with these three boxes as well.
You can actually just, since we have one control, you can just distribute, copy the distribute rotation and not the other three.
Right. So I assume that that was the thumb, so then this would be the forefinger, right?
Yeah. So it's the index or
Oh yeah, index. And it's index 1L, index 2L, index 3L.
yeah. And now you
And
can connect this, right? And the rotation from the result.
so the
From the
interpolate result.
yeah. And just put the weight back to 1. And now it should move right. Is it moving right?
Yeah, it looks like it. I mean, it's probably clipping on the thumb a little bit, but I mean, it's going from extended to curled.
I think it should move more on the index. Um, Try putting. No, you can leave it at 1. Maybe try putting 20 on the divide
20
on
what, sorry?
the divide
Oh,
box.
divide. This one?
Yeah. Okay, that's maybe a bit better. I can't really see where the thumb is going. It looks like it's clipping.
How do I look up? Oh, it's just that one, isn't it?
Okay. Okay.
Definitely curling the finger, but
Oh, that's because actually for the thumb, I actually only have 2 bones that move.
two bones.
Right, the second and the third one. I don't have the first one.
So change this one to thumb 2.
Just I think you can right click and delete it. And the press the this and remove array element. Okay. And it should move a bit better now.
Oh, look at that.
Because I don't think you can move the
That
the
one.
yeah.
Hmm.
So okay, that's it.
And do we want to change that back to 30?
Well, that's just your preference. If you think, I think it looks better on with the 20. It closes the fist more.
Yeah, you're right. And then, so we copy this for the other fingers.
Yep.
Copy, paste, paste, paste. Mhm. 1L, little 2L, L, 3L. Looking good. Ring 1L. Goodness, there's a lot of finicky work in this, isn't there?
Yeah. Definitely is.
Very nice. I think for me personally, knowing all the different boxes and how to set them up, that's the bit that would take me ages to learn because, like, yes, of course, it makes a lot of sense to have divide and then interpolate, but unless you tell me, I'm not going to think of that.
Right. Well, you just have to do it a few times and it becomes a habit.
That looks really good.
Okay, so now you can actually just mirror it. Yeah, it looks like that on mine too. Not really sure what we can do about that.
Well, I guess you'd have to have a different divide for every finger so that you could get it to move to
Right, you,
exactly the
you
right.
would actually need to move it a bit on different uh, axis on the rotation.
Yeah, it could be there forever.
Right.
I think for what we're doing, close enough is good enough, right? So can we highlight all of that and copy it?
Yeah. It's just now the sequence. Just control. You can just click and it will be selected.
Oh yeah, look at that. And then uh,
Control
copy and
Command
paste,
C. Yeah, yeah.
and then B.
Right.
Ding, 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 ding. And then do we have to mirror it, or
Yeah.
do we? No, we got to go through and change each one of these.
You can mirror it.
And is
the
it
control.
uh,
So
so
just the
just
hand
those
L
ones?
close. No. You can you just need to mirror the control. So the ball
That
on
one.
the no. The you don't need to mirror anything here. Just the control on the hierarchy, right?
That one there.
Right. Just rename it to the it's underscore on the second
Oh yeah.
dash. And it's underscore, not
Oh,
dash.
it's underscore. Okay. So mirror,
Yeah. And just search for the L and replace it with R.
and then change that one.
Yeah. Now just change every bone for the
Oh yeah,
it will try to move it. It should close the other fist
the wrong way.
the wrong way,
It's
right?
upside down.
You can actually uh, parent the control to the right arm at the hierarchy.
Right. And then change all these bones.
Yeah.
To L. So I noticed that was upside down.
Right.
So we got to change our rotation, right?
So maybe you can try just setting the interpolate to minus 60. This one, yeah.
Right. Oh yeah. Interesting. The hand doesn't open all the way when I go back to the top.
Uh, can you check what's set at min on the? Oh, it should be -5, I think.
Mm-mm. Would be 0.
Right. I mean, I have it set at -5. Maybe sometimes you want to
Okay.
open the hand a bit
Open the
more.
hand. Okay. Does that mean
But
on
that's
this
just
one it's
preference.
also? Yeah, I've got that one wrong
Right.
as well. So that should be 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha. Right. Far out. What a process.
Right. So um, we just have the legs left.
That'll be easy.
Yeah, that's actually just the same as the hands. Just for the so you need to create controls
Thigh.
for the left and right foot and for the left and right calf.
Oh, okay. Is that because the thigh just follows?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Right. Or left. Right. Left. Football. Right. So what did you say? It was
The calf and the foot.
Calf and the foot. Left.
Right.
New controls. Add controls. And they should be
There. It's in the hierarchy. You can just move the foot outside of the calf in the root. You can parent it to the root
okay. So drop that onto there.
and just drag the foot outside.
I think last time we had to
Just unparent.
unparent, which is that one.
And I have to drag the to the root. Okay. So same shapes for so the foot will be a box and the calf will be a pyramid.
Right. Pyramid solid, thick.
Thick.
And it's the Y axis is 180. Oh, I don't remember. What is it?
You can just take a look in the viewport. It's I set it up so it's facing the knee.
Yeah, of course. I just
So
okay.
right now it's
That's
facing
pointing
up.
that's pointing up. Yeah.
So if you press E on the control, you can see which direction it should move. So it's Z on the so it's minus 90 on the Z.
Gotcha. And that's there.
Right. Okay, so it's a bit different. Oh, I think it's
90.
right. Is it?
Yeah.
It should be actually facing the so the point should so you should drag the control out as you
All right.
did with the elbow, and then the point should face the knee. So
Damn it. Pushing E? No, what am I pushing?
W.
W. Damn it.
Actually, it's the opposite side of the knee.
Wrong. Oh, so you want it in front.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so it's that's good. You can actually move it just a bit more in front. Okay. And for the foot, you need a box. Well, you don't need a box. I just suggest it.
Thick.
All right. You can maybe scale it up because you can't really see it unless it's selected. Okay.
Maybe a bit too much, eh?
Yeah, I actually have it at 2. Okay. And so now you need both of them, right?
F L. L.
No, you need the basic IK node. You don't need this
Oh, I don't need that
anymore.
one.
If you want, you can just copy and paste
Oh, yeah.
the arm.
It's this one here. Crikey. Right. All right. Remind me
Okay,
how I
so
connect these.
the foot comes first, so it should be above the calf. And the foot is the effector. So connect the orange transform to the effector. And the transform of the calf is the pole vector. So you need to drop down the transform and just use the translation. And you need to select the bones for the foot. So the item A, item B, and the effector item.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That would be.
So that's the thigh, the calf, and the foot.
In that order.
Yeah.
Right, left. Yeah. Whoops. Left. Foot. Oops. Left. And do we need to change any of
And
the axes?
we'll just try to connect the execute, the main no, pin to
Okay.
the sequence.
Is that from up here?
The first sequence, yeah. Just add a pin and connect. Okay, so yeah, you need to change something. So the x should be -1. On the secondary axis, the y should be 1. And that's it.
Cool.
You can try to move it and
Over.
actually I forgot to tell you to set the transform for the calf for the knee control.
All right.
So actually it's staying where it should be, but you can do it anyway.
So that is set
Set
offset
off,
transform
right,
counterflow
right.
current.
And just drag it a little bit more out. So right. So the leg doesn't go into it.
When I move it.
Right. That's your control for the knee. So if you move the calf control, you can rotate the knee. So if you go left and right, you don't need to do it every time, just once.
Just because I shifted it, I thought I needed to
Oh, oh.
redo it. Okay. So that's useful. So when we're posing him on the motorbike, we might need to shift the knees out.
Right, exactly, yeah.
Gotcha.
And now the mirror for the right leg.
Is that these two?
Yeah.
And then we need to switch the rotations. Is that right?
Maybe not. You can copy and paste the IK.
Oh yeah, of course. And then drop these ones in.
Yep.
And do we just drag this execute across?
Yeah, exactly.
Is that just like plugging in an extension cord? So you're just shifting the power from that one across
Basically,
to
yeah,
that one?
it's executing everything in that order when you connect
Right.
them, but it's almost instantaneously.
Yeah. So the foot is the effector and translation is the pole. And then that needs to be sorry, dude.
Okay.
Um,
Now we need to change the negatives to positives and vice versa.
not quite worked. Hmm. I did that, but
What exactly happened?
his foot
Um,
is kaput.
Maybe you do need to change the rotation of the foot control, the right foot, the the um, the red box.
My brain is melting. What are you talking about?
The control the in the hierarchy.
Ah, right.
So the foot, maybe you need to right click and set transform to closest bone. This one. Yeah. Or you can just rotate it.
What would that be? No?
Hmm. Actually, before can you unplug the basic AK for this one? Yeah, just Alt and click.
Alt click.
Okay, so now select the uh, controls for the foot and the calf, and right click on them and set the offset transform from closest bone, and then just drag the right, drag it out, and set the
Need to flip it though, right?
right. Yeah,
So what's that? 90.
yeah. We can actually go to uh, up in the menu in the viewport. You have perspective, right? And you can select some of, I think it's front. You can zoom in a bit, so you can line up the controls.
Ah,
I'm not really sure why the left one is
rotated.
right.
Because I'm an
Is
idiot.
there a rotation on it?
Probably.
I mean, it's minus 90, so it should be up straight.
Doesn't really matter. I mean,
Right, yeah.
whatever.
So, and now you can connect the nodes in
Right.
the
Uh-oh. Oh
is
no,
it
it looks all right.
I think it's okay. can try to move it.
How do I select it again? Oh, that's the one out here, right? Doofus.
I think it's actually
Not.
they are the right one is on the left leg, and
Oh.
I think that's just naming. You can
So is that over here?
no, I think this is fine. If you move the foot, does it work? Yeah, it works. Okay, so it doesn't. No, it's okay. Actually, it's okay. Okay, so that's actually it. You have done it.
Oh, that's. I must have shifted this one.
Oh, it's oh
When I went into that other mode, I think I've.
right.
Anyway. So that's him rigged now, is it?
Yeah, basically. So now you can actually pose him in the viewport, in the main viewport.
Yeah, right. Now, I guess that's so some of these NFTs, some of these characters have their mouth open, some of them closed. I guess that's something they do at their end, and then they merge the
Yeah,
mesh. Is that what they would be doing?
right. So if they don't have the bones in the mouth, there's really nothing you can do other
Yeah,
than create your own skeleton,
yeah.
right?
And just for argument's sake, is all of the mesh here, say for example, if he's got a tongue, is that inside? I guess we could zoom in and have a look. But yeah, look,
Right.
there's his tongue. So it's possible. Check out the joint. That's so funny. Um, literally rolled up. Nice work, James. Love your
Yeah.
work. One of the just while we're here, one of the things I was interested in doing was animating this strap. Is that you'd have to put a skeleton in that if it was going to flap around in the wind? That how you
Not
do
really.
that?
It would actually be a closed sim. It would be a simulation.
Right.
Um, it can be done. I think if it's set up correctly, I'll have to look into that.
Yeah.
So,
That can be
but
for, episode 10 or whatever.
right. But now maybe you can try to pose him in the on the motorbike.
All right. So now that I've completed this is the view that we've taken on in order to create these bones.
Yeah.
But this isn't the main viewport, right? So how do I get back to that main viewport? Is that just this
You click, yeah,
tab up
this
there?
step.
Great. And do I have to import that rig? Because I see it's got a little asterisk, so it's not saved. Is that right?
Right, you can Control Shift S and it will save everything that isn't saved. There you go. So now if you right click on him, you can replace selected actors with. Okay, so it doesn't show up here. So I can just delete him.
Okay. There we go. Go away, zoom. And so this one here we drag into there now.
Yeah, and now you'll have the controls you created.
Ooh, look at that. And so this one at the bottom, that's his
That's his
actual
root.
movement. So
Right. Yeah.
okay, gotcha. What's the easier? Is it just move yourself around in 3-dimensional space and get him until he's about right? Is that
Well, yeah. There's nothing really you can do other than that.
yeah? Okay. I will have a play with that and make him look interesting, and then maybe show you next time,
Okay. Yeah.
and you can
Sounds
critique
good.
me and tell me what I've done wrong.
You can easily animate him as well.
All
You
right.
have the
Well,
timeline on the bottom. You just add keyframes and change the position of the controls.
wow. So he could walk over and get on the bike.
Right. Yeah. If you know how to animate the walk cycles and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably not. I would just hack at it with a baseball bat. All right, Peekaboo, thank you so much for your time. It's been a good couple of hours, so I appreciate that. And your patience as I work my way through building this complex thing.
No problem.
And we'll be in touch soon and see what we can do next. I mean, ultimately, I'd like to get a photograph of him looking his best. So maybe next time we can talk about, you know, he's in position. How do we set up a camera? How do we render it? How do we get a still shot that looks good?
Right.
And then you can talk me through, lighting and all that kind of stuff, maybe.
Okay.
Thanks,
Yeah, sounds
buddy.
good. No
Have a
problem.
great day.
Thanks.